Ibram Kendi, I think is how you pronounce his name, is one of those people who just makes a living off of convincing other people who aren't white that they are victims and that they can never succeed in life. You can see over on the right over here, it says he's a scholar, director for anti-racism, author of Stamped from the Beginning, National Book Award winner, and How to Be Anti-Racist, #1 New York Times bestseller. Shocker there. Author of Stamped, so I think Stamped is just another series of books that convinces people who aren't white that they are victims and that they will never succeed in life because they simply aren't white. So let's check out some of these tweets, and then we have a lot of people who just absolutely went in on this guy and all of these tweets, including Ben Shapiro. You can see the redhead libertarian. So many other people absolutely destroyed this guy for these idiotic tweets. So to assume merit is the reason white people are overrepresented in positions of power and influence is to assume white people are superior. To assume peoples of color in positions of power and influence are unqualified and unmerited is to assume peoples of color are inferior. Or maybe we're assuming that people like you have convinced people of color, as you like to say, aren't trying to get these things, aren't trying to get these merits, aren't trying to get qualifications because you have already convinced them from birth that they will never be able to do it in the first place. So what's the point in trying? Maybe that's the case. Have you ever thought about it that way? To assume white people are superior and peoples of color are inferior is to believe racist ideas. To believe racist ideas is to assume the problems are peoples of color and anti-racist efforts to abolish the structure of racism. To attack anti-racist efforts is to conserve the structure of racism. It isn't rocket science what these people are doing. I'm sure you're thinking the same thing as me. How many times can this person possibly fit in the word racism in one thread that's only 3 tweets long? It's pretty insane, man. It's the guy's entire personality. It's how the guy makes a living. He just convinces other black people that they will never be as good as white people and they shouldn't even try. They should just complain about it on social media. It's honestly evil what the guy's doing to other people who look like him, in my opinion. It's absolutely evil because playing the victim is not going to get you anywhere. The only thing that's going to get you anywhere is, even if it doesn't, why even if this stuff was true that he was saying, how does it serve you to believe these things? Like, how does it serve you to believe that you were just born a victim and you could never succeed in life because of the way that you were born? How does that serve you? What's the point in protecting those beliefs so much? Like, why are you acting like these limiting beliefs PR team? The redhead libertarian responded and said, Henry, you should apply for X monetization. You'd make a killing with people ratioing these horrifically bad takes. Part of me thinks that a lot of these people, I don't know about this guy, but a lot of these people tweet these really stupid things because of X monetization. They just want the engagement. They just want the views. You can see this thing almost has 1 million views on it. Like, they just want the engagement because they make money off of it. But this guy also sells books and things like that. I think he's truly brainwashed himself into believing these things so that he can make a lot of money off it, because there's a ton of money to be made in that space. Convincing people that they are the victim to make themselves feel better about their shitty lives, make it seem like it's not their fault that they suck at life. It's just the way that they were born, so they could never succeed in life. There's a lot of money to be made in that space. But we also have people like Ben Shapiro who went in on this guy. Ben Shapiro says, this is idiot talk from an idiot. White people are not a uniform block, and neither are people of color, and literally zero industries or institutions anywhere in America are statistically representative of the general population. Let's play this stupid game, but switch a couple of words. To assume merit is the reason older people are overrepresented in terms of wealth is to assume older people are superior, or maybe there are these things called confounds. Now, if you know me, you know I'm not the biggest Ben Shapiro supporter, especially now recently. He's kind of become a lunatic a little bit, but he's still good at destroying these idiots on Twitter. They're kind of low-hanging fruit, but Ben Shapiro always puts it in a somewhat elegant way. I don't agree with him on a lot of things that he's been talking about recently, but this is obviously one that we are in agreement on. Let's check out some of the other replies. If Ibram Kendi cares so much about diversity in companies, then why isn't he upset about the NBA? The NBA is almost all black players. Well, because whenever it's going in that direction, the reason why that's not racism is because that's anti-racism. You can't, in terms of these people who profit off of racism, that they will never be anything in life because of the color of their skin, they can't possibly be racist towards white people. It's just not possible. That is anti-racism or something like that. I don't even know what it's called anymore. But anyway, his whole scam is predicated on the idea that the Irish and English are the same race. Kendi is racist, pure and simple. He's everything he claims to not be and to hate. That's true. You know, all these people like Dr. Umar, this guy, all these people who just profit off of telling people of their same race that they are just inferior and that they should be victims and they should cry about it and complain about it constantly on Twitter. They're all just scammers, and they're very, very racist themselves. Like, none of these people are good people. They try to act like they're good people. They try to act like they're fighting for the greater good, like they want to improve the world. They don't. They want to fill their pocketbooks, and they also hate white people. Like, that's what it comes down to. Those two things. They like money and they don't like white people. That's the only thing that it comes down to. And also, they might even have convinced themselves that they're okay with their mediocre life because from birth. They were just supposed to be that way. That's just how the world that they live in is set up. Let me know what you guys think about these tweets from Ibram and also Ben Shapiro's responses, the rest of the people's responses. Let me know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on this whole situation? Do you agree with me that these types of people are scammers, or do you believe some of the ideas that they were spewing there? I have a feeling most of you are not going to believe those ideas, but let me know what you guys think in the comments about the whole Ben Shapiro versus Ibram Kendi situation.